I'm a third-generation artist, and I became an artist because of parental pressure. I was pre-med in college until I ran into organic chemistry. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who have that story. And, you know, I've done everything from work in guerrilla street theater with the Young Lords Party in New York City to running a major national exhibition for Coca-Cola and the Jackie Robinson Foundation. I've worked in municipal government, higher education, alternative space movement, publishing, et cetera, et cetera. And I am thrilled to be here and be at Irvine. Irvine is, you know, it's just an incredible place. There are the students, the level of participation, faculty, world class, which is a hallmark of the UC system. I would just like to kind of talk a little bit about how I see, and I'm from the outside, so, and I'm probably the newest minted dean up here, so I can put my foot in my mouth without much concern about it. You know, coming from the outside, I've noticed that the UC system is a very odd animal. It's not so agile, it's not so fluid, it has strange growths here and there. And it's better known outside of the state of California than it is within the state of California. I've had a lot of international experience, and when I accepted the position, people found out with other institutions I've been working with, let's say in Asia and in Europe, they were very, very excited, much more so than being at SUNY, for example. I'd like to just talk a little bit about 4 things that I think are very important for the future of the arts at Irvine. I don't think I can speak for the system at this point because I'm really not that familiar with it. And those 4 things are community, resources development, and internal relations. Maybe not in that order, but those are the 4 headings I'd like to discuss. Now, I'll start with community first. One of the most difficult issues facing us is how to balance the mission of a research institution with the expectations and desires of our site community and the relationship between those 2 things. And I've heard, for example, as I'm trying to build my Dean's Leadership Council, people say, well, you have to do My Fair Lady, and and my faculty wants to do Cymbeline, One of the Henrys, or something like that, The Crucible, and they want to see singing and dancing. So, with that in mind, I think one of the challenges of the research institution's relationship to community and community buildings is kind of pursuing its own interests in research, but also developing an educational aspect of it that allows community, grips the whole onto what's going on and brings them into the process. Irvine the Clare Chapman School of the Arts at Irvine is offset of a circle. That's the campus design. And it's all kind of internalized. It's all kind of inward looking. So the arts in and of itself is outside of the circle, which is another issue, which I'll address in a minute or so. So it's, how do we open up our community and invite our site community in, and invite them in a way where they feel comfortable and can connect. So outreach is a big part of this process. And quite frankly, in my short time at Irvine, it's been a struggle to convince my faculty to do outreach. And that's one of my challenges. The other thing that would be very helpful for us is some more in-kind partnerships with local entities. And I've been reaching out to the other performing arts organizations and institutions within Orange County. And unbeknownst to me, I was put on a number of boards because the chancellor taking this ex officio position and dumping it off on me, so, you know, fine. And I just want to share one story with you. I was having lunch with one of these groups, and they gave me a big, you know, packet of stuff they sent to the office. I was going through it. And I went to lunch, and they asked me to join the board. So I said, I have to ask my wife, because you know, she's really the one who's in charge of my board relationships. Then I sent the email saying that I would, you know, join after I talked to my wife. And I said, and for two reasons. One, because I think it's a great opportunity for me to be on this board. And secondly, you won't have to reprint this very nice brochure that you have, which has my name on it already.